Roblox has many two-player obbies. Originally, it started from something simple, like pressing buttons for one another, but with time, they advanced. From games where players are tied together to games where one player sees and one moves. These games always relied and stuck to their simple gimmick. This new underrated game I'm about to show you, however, went above and beyond with their mechanics, making one of the more difficult but really fun to play hobbies. In today's video, I'm talking about Yoinkz. So I found out about this game from a friend when it had around 30,000 visits. Now it has over 1 million as of writing this. In this game, you and your body are connected by a line, and the gimmick is that by pressing F, you will yoink your partner. Easy enough, right? Well, that's not quite all there is. You see, currently there are 7 worlds and 1 secret one. All of them introduce a new mechanic to the game, and trust me, in later worlds the new mechanics are very cool, so it's worth sticking through the whole video. Aside from these, there are also many funny cosmetics you can buy that either change the sound or add effects when you get yoinked. There are also custom chains. You can buy these using plum coins, which can either be found hidden around the map or by yoinking your body through pink rings. Also, you don't have to worry about falling, as you can return to checkpoints by using an item with limited uses. This makes it so you won't want to bash your head against a wall for falling at the very end, but will also make you take every attempt seriously, as you have a limited amount of these. Lastly, after finishing the game you will unlock challenges, which will allow you to try a lot more things after you finish the main game. But now, I want to show you all of these cool worlds and my experience with them. But in order to beat all of these worlds, you're going to need some teamwork alongside with your body. Speaking of teamwork, however, I need your help. I want to reach 10,000 subscribers until the new year, and I can do that only if you help me by subscribing. Don't worry, however, as you get something back. If you help me out by subscribing, I'll make more of these awesome videos to entertain you. See? Teamwork. But now let's get into the worlds. So let's begin. The first world in the game, Ravine, is where your journey begins and where you are introduced to the fundamentals. When I first got into the game, I found this guy called I. It started off easy by showing that you and your partner can walk on different platforms depending on your color, to then after yoink your duo across. It also shows that every now and then you will need to stay on a specific spot in order for your body to not get yoinked and fall into a pit. We learned that the hard way. Just by the first world I could tell that while the game isn't super flashy, the environment is really unique and it looks awesome. On the way we find many plum coins hidden around, most of them just out of sight, and before long the first world was done and we moved on to the next one. Here we have the Cliffside. This area introduces buttons. The circle ones help you out by making objects solid or vanish for a while, while the square ones, we don't talk about the square ones. This area looked awesome at the first glance. Going forwards with my body, we found an area where one of us had to quickly run across while the other pressed the button. Luckily, if you fall in this part you don't gotta worry, as your partner can just yoink you back up. Buttons aren't limited to only that, however. They can also swap colors of platforms, making it so the other person can collide with them. After some square buttons and more button pressing at the right time, me and my buddy found an area where he powered platforms for me to jump on for a limited time, basically needing us to move at the same time. Before long, we get to the last part where we both have to press buttons for one another, while also dodging the square ones. With that, we end World 2. Sadly, I had to go now. But for how fun the game was so far, I knew I couldn't leave it at that. So I brought my friend. This is the homie. Or I guess we can just call him Hakari. After speedrunning the first 2 worlds as well, we arrived at the third world, Crags. This area is where things started to get more complicated. The new gimmicks added are ice, which if you stand on, you're slippery and cannot jump, or get yoinked. There are also catching nets that when yoinked through, you will be teleported to the area connected to them. It starts off easy, just introducing the mechanics to us. After learning how things work some more, we get to a section where we have to quickly activate buttons for one another whilst on ice. It's not that bad. It's not like one of us will slip too far off the button and won't press it in time. After some more failures, thank God this game doesn't punish every fall, we managed to get to the end part. This part's interesting because you first have to look forwards to figure out which one of you gets yoinked first, as yoinking the wrong person leads to a loss. We didn't mess up however, and we completed World 3. World 4, Autumn, is both the world we started to joke around some more and also lose some more.
Eu posso foder.
But tu meses.
Următoarele cuvinte erau n-ai tu pe eu.
This area adds 3 mechanics that synergize together: lava, moving platforms, also known as gizmos, and honey. Touching lava more often than not will guarantee your loss unless you're lucky, and honey can stick you to walls with this stud pattern. Progressing further, you'll discover a new technique called honey lava launch. Basically, when covered with honey, if you touch lava, after a short delay you will be launched in the air, which can either act like a high jump or a double jump. We then went through another area that required more honey jumps, which was easy enough. Moving to the next area, my friend had to stick to a wall whilst I ran around trying to move the lava walls out of his way. Wasn't that hard. The next part, however, is where we got stuck a little bit, as I really sucked at this. I'll let the footage explain itself.
Nu cred că trebuia să sari și tu.
Nu mi-a dispărut! After that, let's just say the rest of the day didn't go any better. So we decided to leave it at that. 11 days later, we are back, and...
Deci întâi mă tragi tu și după aia te trag.
What? What the... We also found a shop.
Bă, eu n-am crezut că e pe mine tot timpul. Că se potrivea cu Hakari.
From this point we started using pole transmitters, thank God. And after a few more attempts... What? Nu l-am atins!
Ok, vezi că tu trebuie să mă tragi. Așa. Tu treci prin. Deci trebuie eu să te trag. Ok. God is good.
God is great!
Finish!
Finish!
God is good.
God is
God
great!
is
Invulnerability park. We can finally move on to World 5. The name of World 5 is Ruinous, and the new things that it adds to the world are insane. To start off, breaking platforms. They break when the darkest part is touched, either by you or rocks. What do I mean by rocks? Another new mechanic. You will find rock piles and you will be able to throw stones anywhere you click. Something that I think is worth mentioning now, by the way, is that I love how all the gimmicks in the game are centralized under either a material or color. Ice is, well, ice. Breaking platforms are slate. Walls that honey stick through are studs, and so on. It's a really cool detail that helps clarify which is which, and I love it. After my friend and I explored this gimmick some more by having to throw stones at buttons, we arrived at the place where one of the most creative mechanics in this game appears: Spirit Essence. Walking through this makes it so when you press F you leave your body behind and you'll be able to walk as a spirit, ignoring stuff like lava and breaking platforms, whilst still being able to interact with things such as buttons. Pressing F again will teleport you back to your body and also yoink your partner. In order to not yoink them, you can also return by using cleansing water. After figuring this out, we went through some pretty fun sections. And after that, we reached this part. Here, one of us had to throw rocks in order to break the platforms, whilst the other person walked on ice. It's all good until you realize one thing: rocks can hit players. Ow! Ow!
Bă, de ce am tras?
But to end off the world, after we got back, one of us had to stay on a moving platform whilst the other threw rocks at the lava in order to break it. World 6 definitely adds a lot, as you will see, one of the new mechanics being more unique than you think. It's been mostly a decorative feature until now, so let me show you what's new. Starting off, the first thing you will see are glowing rocks that help you out a lot, since this map is pretty dark, but I'm pretty sure you saw the weird diamond in the middle. That's an interlocker. These objects affect you and your body whenever the link between you touches them. The effect depends on the color, but this one swaps your position. Not that far ahead, we also find another new thing called tugging voids. When you touch these, it will yoink your partner. It's basically lava that instead of punishing you, punishes your teammate, which punishes you. After passing these, another cool ability is introduced. Mirror voids. These things will make it so instead of pulling your body towards you, it pushes them the other direction. It's basically a slingshot. Further up, we find new interlockers. Light blue and pink ones teleport you to the one with their respective color. The rest of the world messes around with some more of these interlockers, and to be honest, the gimmick is cool. In this world, however, it really becomes obvious that many gimmicks are shown once and then they are forgotten. That's the only sad part about this game. It has a lot of cool ideas, but they are never used to their full extent, by combining them. Nor are there any hard puzzles to figure out. Honestly, if checkpoints were permanent and you'd have giant puzzle rooms like in Portal for example, that would be awesome. Maybe it's like that in challenges in the secret world however, but I'm not sure, never got to try them yet. But I'm kinda getting off track. Let's get back to the worlds. We are left with one more world to cover, and that is World 7, Cyan. Talking about all the gimmicks not really being used again, this is the exception. For World 7, we have one new mechanic and every single other gimmick. The new gimmick is the power bubbles. You obtain them by either walking in them or throwing a rock at them. They can either make you jump higher or lower, move faster or slower. They get reset by water. A simple mechanic, yet it feels like a big addition. While I'll let you see some of the areas in this world, I want to say that this game was incredibly fun to play with my friend. Even if you've watched through the whole video, if you've not played it, you really should. Knowing all the mechanics doesn't change the teamwork needed between you and your friend to beat these worlds, so I wished you to have fun while playing this. There is more you can do, such as challenges or the secret world of course, but I will not get into those. Totally not because I've not tried them yet. Zyler, if you hear this, you made a really cool game. And honestly, I really hope more people discover your game, and I'm excited to see if anything new will appear on it as well. After you get to the moving platform, congrats. You've won the game! But for now, my name was Terma, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!